Hello children, how are you all? I am fine here and I too expect the same from you. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see the 11th standard first lesson in botany, the living world. Okay, what are the things comprises the living world, children? Microorganisms, plants, animals, birds and including human beings together form a living world. And just Earth was estimated to be formed before 4.6 billion years. How many years, children? 4.6 billion years ago. It is estimated that the earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago, and first earth was just like a hot ball, and later mountains, plateaus and plants, later animals, fishes, and we human beings starts to evolve, and living and the non-living organisms together on the earth we called as biosphere. Biosphere refers to the surface of any planet where the living organisms live. And apart from this, there are many wonders in the world. Have you all imagined? Just imagine lotus leaf. When you put water droplets on the lotus leaf, what will happen, children? Will the leaves absorb water? No. We can see the rolling of water in the lotus leaves. And I can give you some more example. Venus flytrap. It is an insectivorous plant. It will be like this, and when the insects approaches the plant, automatically it closes. Okay, the insectivorous means it consumes insects. And squid means what? Kanavai mean we say, right? When any predator approaches it, it squeezes, it secretes the ink on the predator. And apart from this, there are many wonders in the world, children. And now we are going to see, and we are going to discuss about their DNA. All the organisms contains the genetic material called as a DNA or the RNA. And later the person named Mora et al. Came to one conclusion that there were 8.7 million species. How many species, children? 8.7 million species on the earth, and that all the species include microorganisms, plants, fungi, human beings, animals, everything are included in this category. And now we are going to discuss about the attributes of living. What are all the attributes? And the first important attribute is that attributes of living organism. The first attribute is growth. What is this, children? Growth. Second one, cell structure. Third one, reproduction. And next, irritability and metabolism, movement, nutrition, and the last attribute is excretion. First we are going to discuss about the growth. What do you mean by growth, children? Growth means increase in number and mass of the cell, the organism. We can say the first attribute is the growth. What happens in the growth? Increase in cell number. increase in cell number, and in the plant we can say the growth is indefinite. The plant can grow for a long time, but in animals and the human beings growth is limited. And only the living organisms grow, children? No, there are some exceptions. Non-living organisms can also grow. How it is possible? Just imagine the mountains, right? What happens due to the deposition of some clay particles, due to the movement of the wind, some clay particles get deposited on the mountain, and the shape of the mountain changes from later, right? And first, the growth which takes place from the external surfaces, we call it as a extrinsic growth. Extrinsic growth. Growth is extrinsic in non-living organisms. Non-living organisms, but the growth is an intrinsic factor in the living organisms. For example, if you take a human being, there is a growth refers to the division of the cell, right, an increase in the size and shape. So in the living organism, the growth is intrinsic. It takes place from interior of the body. So the intrinsic growth takes place in living organism. Living organisms, right? And so growth is of two types, children. One is a extrinsic and another one is a intrinsic. But in some, there are some exceptions. Amoeba and bacteria, what happens after the growth? They divides into two. So in the case of amoeba, we can say reproduction and growth are mutual events. Reproduction and growth are mutual events. They takes place simultaneously. For example, after the complete growth of the amoeba, it divides into two. So cell grow as well as the reproduction also takes place. So in amoeba we can say reproduction and growth are simultaneous events. And the second attribute is the cell structure. Okay, based on their cell structure, right? Second one is a cell structure. Based on the structure of the cell, they are divided into two categories, children. One is a prokaryotes. Prokaryotes, and second type as a eukaryotes. What do you mean by karyo? Karyo means nucleus. Karyo refers to nucleus. Pro means primitive. The organism which possesses the primitive nucleus, that is, there are no cell organelles, we call them as prokaryotes. Example, we can say bacteria. And the second category is a eukaryotes. Karyo means nucleus and eu means true. Some organism possesses the true nucleus with the membrane bound organelles. For example, if you take a human cell, we can say a nucleus surrounded by the nuclear membrane, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, everything. So eukaryotes are best examples, we can say animals, plants, right? So based on their cell structure, they are divided into two, children, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now I'll ask you some questions, children. Just listen. Akshaya, just answer my question. What are the two types of growth? Yes, very good. Extrinsic and the intrinsic, right? And what are the two types of organisms based on their cell structure? Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, children, next we can discuss about the third attribute of life, that is reproduction. Children, we are going to discuss the third attribute of life, that is reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction, children? Reproduction, it is a biological process by which organism produces the young ones. The organism produces, again, refers to again. So if an organism possesses the next generation, we call it as a reproduction. And reproduction is of two types. One is a sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, and the second type is the asexual reproduction. Asexual Asexual reproduction. First one, what do you mean by sexual reproduction, children? If the organism involves a fusion of gametes and if the variation takes place in the next generation, we call it as sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction involves fusion of gametes. And the variation is seen. Why the variation is seen, children? Because of the recombination of the gene. Because any organism gets the genetic material from the parent as well, from the male parent as well as the female parent. So when the gene combine, we call that process as a recombination. Recombination. So what is sexual reproduction, children? It involves a fusion of gametes and recombination takes place through which the variation occur. For example, you take a human beings, we differ from our parents because we get the genes both from our parent, that's the father and the mother. And next we are going to study about the asexual reproduction. What do you mean by asexual reproduction, children? It does not involve gametes. So no fusion of gametes takes place. No fusion of gametes takes place, and the best examples is that we can say first conidia, fragmentation, budding, and conidia, fragmentation, budding. What's an example for conidia, children? Conidia, we can say example penicillium, right? And for fragmentation we can say Spirogyra. Budding we can say yeast, Hydra. And the another type we can say as regeneration. Regeneration, that is Hydra. Regeneration we can say Hydra as well as Planaria. Now we can see what do you mean by conidia, children? Some fungus like penicillium, they reproduce by forming the conidia spores. Just look at this picture. This is the Aspergillus niger. Aspergillus niger, which is used in alcohol fermentation, right? It belongs to a yeast family, and the another one is a Penicillium notatum. From this we derive the drug penicillin. You see the spore-like structures, ball-like structures, we call it as conidia. So what is the first example, children? Conidia, penicillium, and Aspergillus niger. And second one, Spirogyra. Spirogyra is an algae which the division, for example, if this is a Spirogyra, just imagine this is Spirogyra. What happens? Internally it gets divided into many septums. Internally it gets divided into many septums with the genetic material, and later each individual fragment divided into a individual Spirogyra. So this is the fragmentation, how it takes place in Spirogyra. And next we are going to study the yeast. Look at this picture, children. This is a budding, how it takes place in the Hydra. The small bud is formed, later the bud enlarges, and after developing its tentacles it gets detached from the parent. And next one, regeneration. Just look at this picture, children. Regeneration. What do you mean regeneration? Due to some accidents, if any part is lost, the organism can regrow, or can allow it to regrow. So regrowth in the injured region, we call it as regeneration. So what are the four types of asexual reproduction, children? Conidia, fragmentation, budding, and regeneration. But in this all we can say there is no variation. The main difference between sexual and asexual is that here in the sexual reproduction variation is seen due to the recombination of the gene from the two parents. But here there is no variation. The daughters are exactly identical to the parents. So there is no variation in the asexual reproduction. correction. Children, the next topic what you are going to discuss is the irritability. What do you mean by irritability, children? Response to the stimuli. For example, if what happens, you see when you touch a fire, what happens? Automatically you withdraw your hand from it. So the sense organs, due to the sense organs, we sense the environment. So first, what is the next topic, children? Irritability. Irritability. In that first, what you are going to discuss is about the consciousness. What do you mean by consciousness? Consciousness. And next one we are going to see what is a irritability. What is the definition for irritability? And the first one, what do you mean by consciousness? The process of sensing the environment, right? Whatever the changes that takes place. For example, if it is sweating, how you feel through our skin. If it is very cool, automatically we feel shivering, all because of our sense organs. So the process of sensing the environment, we call it as a consciousness. And what do you mean by irritability? Irritability means response, how we respond to a situation. What happens suddenly if you feel shivering, you wear a sweater. So that is our response to that. Likewise, the plants also respond to the environment. The best example for the irritability is a sunflower. Sunflower. Why we give here an example as a sunflower, children? Because sunflower turns its head towards the direction of the sunlight. And what happens? You all know about the touch me not plant. What is the touch me not plant? Totta siningi, right? Touch me not plant. What happens? If you touch the leaf of it, automatically the leaf shrinks. So it is its irritability towards the environment. So what is irritability, children? It involves the two terms, consciousness and the irritability. Consciousness is the process of sensing the environment, and irritability is the response towards the change. And the next what you are going to discuss is a metabolism. What do you mean by metabolism? Metabolism is the chemical reactions. Metabolism is the chemical reaction taking place inside our body. Chemical reactions in our body. Okay, so metabolism, it is a chemical reactions in our body, and it is divided into two main categories, children. One is anabolism. One is a anabolism, and the other division is a catabolism. Catabolism. What do you mean by anabolism? Anabolism refers to building up process. Anabolism is a building up process. And in contrast to this, catabolism is a breaking down process. Breaking down process. Here what happens? What do you mean by building up, children? Smaller units combine to form a larger units. Combines to form larger units. But here the larger units breaks into smaller units. And the another difference is that here you can say chemical energy is produced. Chemical energy, for example, ATP is produced. Chemical energy is produced, but here the chemical energy is used, that is utilized. Chemical energy is used. And the last we are going to see the example, children. Can you give an example for the reaction, building up reactions? Yes, the example is that amino acids combine to form proteins. combine to form proteins. Group of many amino acids join a protein. Can you give an example for the breaking down reaction in our body, children? Yes, very good. Glucose gets break down into carbon dioxide, water and energy. Right, so metabolism is a chemical reaction taking place in our body, and it is of two types, anabolism and the catabolism. And anabolism is a building up process and catabolism is a breaking down process. So, and the next what you are going to discuss is that movement, nutrition and excretion. What do you mean by movement, children? Only the living organisms can move from one place to another. It is absent in the non-living organisms. And nutrition, what do you mean by nutrition? The process of taking in food, we call it as a nutrition, and this also takes place only in the living organisms. And excretion, what do you mean excretion? The process of expelling wastes from our body, we call it as a excretion. So these are all the important attributes of the living things, children, but growth is an exception because growth takes place in the non-living, but it is extrinsic in the non-living organisms. Remaining all the factors or the characteristic features which is unique only for a living organism.
ஆசிரியராகிய நான் காலத்தை அளவை உணர்ந்து உணர்வுடன் செய்வனத்திலிருந்து செய்து சிறந்த ஆசிரியராக திகழ்வேன். அகம் மற்றும் புறத்தொழில் கடைபிடித்து உடல் மண்டலம் பேணி அன்றாட வேலையில்